The thing that stuck out to me in this game was our defense in the first half. I hadn't seen it all year, and it's something that we talked about coming into this game. We have been a very good defensive team the last couple seasons, and we had not played at that level defensively this year. And I told them that being a part of a great defense a year ago, and some of them 2 years ago as well, does not entitle you to being a part of great defense this year. It takes work, it takes connectivity, it takes improvement, it takes buy-in, it takes effort. It takes all those things. And it was nice to see the Duke defense back in the first half. And so that is what my takeaway is from this game that I'm most proud of. Did we lose it in the third quarter for a little bit? Sure, but that's the basketball game, right? There's 4 quarters. Their team is good too. They're going to have moments, but we were able to bring that back, and I'm very pleased. We need it for ACC play. We cannot reach our true potential as a team if we're not elite defensively, and that's something that we've got to keep working towards. And I've got to be better at breaking stuff down and coaching and getting them to play at this higher level on the defensive end.
I know you mentioned getting back to Duke's defense. One constant always seems to be Oluchi.
You just want me to talk about Luchi? Yeah. Okay. Luchi was like that from the first day she stepped on campus. This is how Luchi has practiced and played. And there is no doubt when Luchi is playing well, we're a different team. And I think the last couple games, the last 2 games specifically, we have seen that player from last year. And I think she's starting to kind of hit her stride and find her groove with us, and we need her. I mean, she literally changes games with how hard she plays, with her ability to score, and certainly her ability to rebound, her ability to defend. I mean, get steals. She touches the game in every area, and gives us such a jolt when she's in the game. So I'm happy that she's strung 2 pretty good games together.
You mentioned, wanting the defense to kind of come along here. For the past couple of seasons, like you mentioned, you've had the defense. Now you've kind of got the offense and the defense. I think it's the 5th time this season you all have shot better than 40% from 3. I guess, is it fulfilling to kind of finally have that balance of having the good offense and the great defense, both of those in this game?
It's a little early, I think. For me to say where we are on either ends. We have to play a little bit longer into the season, and we have to get into conference play a little bit more. The early returns are good. What happens when you get into conference play is you're scouted really well, and it's not, can you score like the first read or the first play? It's like they know all the plays and the reads, and you have to kind of show that you're malleable and you can figure it out. So I don't know that about our offense yet, but we challenged our players at the end of last season. We challenged them to improve their efficiency, in particular our guards. We said, making more of your open shots that you get, shot selection being tilted toward the shots that you're most efficient in, right? And for every player, it's different. So it's not saying you can't shoot. No, it's the ones that are your best, try to seek out more of those, okay? And then be really efficient in open shots. And then the 3-point line was a big emphasis for us in the summer to work on it. Is that the reason? I can't fully say. But I do think that these players are good offensively. And then the other thing is, even though we don't have a center, Our forwards finish well. Our forwards have a really good field goal percentage. When you look, and this is now 11 games, right? And so they're pretty good finishers. And that's an aspect of our offense that we hadn't had yet here. Someone that we can throw the ball to on the block, and they can make you pay on the post up. And so Fournier gives us that. Thomas gives us that. And it's nice to have that balance of where you can get those paint points. You can throw it in and get some post ups.
Tech had 18 turnovers tonight, including 12 in the first half. What did you like about how your defense was able to force those?
I thought we were really assignment correct in the first half. What do I mean by that? I mean that we were locked into their shooters. Okay, not just the 18 turnovers, but they only attempted 7 threes and they only made 1. And these players can shoot. Okay, Eck can shoot it. Wenzel can shoot it. And we just didn't give them a ton of free looks. And the other thing that I thought we did well was when they got it into the paint, we tried to make it like one challenge shot. I thought our switching at times was disruptive. And just tried to play as physical as we could. So I liked a lot about our defense in that first half. But our biggest jump was, it's going to sound simple, but it's been a problem for us, like getting matched up. Finding our matchup before they get open layups or open threes. So getting to the right player, I thought that was at a high level for us. And then not giving them what they are good at. And for the most part of the game, we did that. Wenzel got loose a little bit there in the second half. We weren't taking away what she's good at. And when you do that, she makes plays.
Yeah, you said your defense hadn't played at that level at all this year. Mm-hmm. What was different, in your opinion, in this game? Was it just the connectivity better? I know you mentioned that. Is it just better across the board, in your opinion?
I think our urgency was better defensively. I think our attention to detail, trying to scheme-wise get them to take the type of shots that we want them to take instead of them just taking whatever shot that they want. And I think we were, more motivated. I mean, I'm not saying this. I told them today. I'm not saying they played this hard because I told them, but I told them today how bad they were on defense. And I didn't just say, you stink. That's not coaching. I gave them the statistics of where we ranked in the ACC and all the significant defensive categories. And the facts of that were jarring. We're 15th, 17th, 15th, 17th, 15th, 14th. Out of 18, that's not good. So I challenged them. I said, hey, really good teams, if you go at any level, okay, any level, high school, college, pro, the teams that contend for either a conference championship or a national championship or a league championship if you go to pro, they're good at both. They're good at both. It's very rare you're going to find someone like number 1 in offense and in the NBA and 24th in defense, or number 1 in defense, and usually in the top 10 in both, right? Might not be number 1, might be 3 in offense, 8 in defense, something like that. How can we expect to be a good team in this league if we're 17th in defense? We cannot. So we were fooling people off our reputation, you guys, that we were a good defensive team until tonight. We were fooling people off of our reputation. Duke had been good on defense, so everyone just assumed Duke was on defense. Duke has been terrible on defense. Terrible. So it's my job. That's my fault. It's not just them. We've been terrible. I have not held them to the standard that our program has set over the last few years. So we talked about it as a staff. We've got to get back our defense. And then we relay that message to them. Not to belittle them or demean them, but to say hey, here's where you are. And then we got to get a whole nother level if we want to win a game in this league. I mean, if you're 17th defense, that means you really can only beat the 18th. Right? So you're going to have one win the whole ACC season? Or you want to win more than one game? The 17th ranked defense might only win one game. I don't want to win one game. I want to win more than one game. And so I was proud of that response.
Could you speak a bit more to the physicality of today's game, especially in relation to the offense and how well you thought Duke took advantage of its possessions today?
You know, offensively for us, I mean, listen, I thought Fournier was terrific. Okay? I mean, she made so many plays, one-on-one in the post, at the elbow, finishing plays. I mean, she goes 12 for 17. Think about that. How many players in college basketball get 27 points on 17 shots? Short list, let me tell you, short list, right? Short list. She's efficient. She's competitive. And when she doesn't get in foul trouble, which has kind of hurt her in some of her games this year, haven't been able to play her as much, she's incredibly productive. I don't know what her points per minute is, but like it's got to be high. Because there's been games this year I've played her 12 minutes, she scores 10 points. So she is an incredibly productive player. Challenged her on the glass coming into this game because I didn't think she was rebounding at the level she's capable of, and she gets 9 rebounds today as well. Toby has the ability to get a double-double every night. Now, just because you have the ability doesn't mean you'll do it. It takes great work, great focus, and great discipline to do that. And so that's my expectation of her, that she's an impact player for us. And I thought it was a pretty good ACC debut for the freshman.
Could you talk a bit more about your bench's wonderful performance today and like what it means to you to have such a strong and versatile lineup?
It's definitely a luxury to have the depth that we enjoy. I didn't think our starting group, with the exception of Delaney, played particularly well offensively today, as well as they can play. And so it was necessary to have some of that spark. Now, I thought the starting group played well defensively. You know, they were a big part of that half, you know, where we held them to those 22 points. But offensively, I didn't think they were sharp. You know, I didn't think Mare was as sharp as she's been. I didn't think Richardson, Jackson were as sharp. I didn't think Donovan was sharp. And so what a luxury. I mean, think about some teams, if you don't have 4 of your 5 starters sharp on offense, you're probably going to lose. And this team, because we have players that are of starting quality, you know, that come off of our bench. I thought Toby was terrific. Oluchi was terrific as well. And I thought DeJesus, even though her numbers weren't, you know, off the charts, 3 assists, no turnovers, and ran the team really, really well. And Woody had some nice moments. I didn't think this was one of Woody's best games, but she did come in and make some plays for us and hit 2 threes. She stretches it for us. You know, it's the one forward we have that can really stretch it, and that causes some problems for people when they help off of on drives. So I like my bench. I think they can improve and get better, and I know our starters are of a high quality, and hopefully they'll play better offensively the next game.